Hello, my name is Seda Nordum, and I am a staff attorney here at Asian Americans Advancing Justice, Southern California. Thank you for choosing us to assist you with your naturalization process. Today, we will talk about what to expect at your citizenship interview. Once you have gone through security and are in an assigned room, you will be checking in with the receptionist, and you will need to have your green card and interview notice readily available. It is possible you may be fingerprinted and photographed by the receptionist. After you're done checking in, you'll be asked to have a seat in the waiting room. Please make sure you are paying attention because your name will be called by your interviewing officer when he or she is ready for you. Please be aware that your interview starts as soon as you meet with your officer, and the officer may engage in small talk with you to gauge your understanding of English on their way to their office. Once inside, the officer will have you raise your right hand and place you under oath by promising to tell the truth. Some officers may even ask what it means to tell the truth. You can respond by stating that it means you will not lie. The officer will need you to show your identification, including your green card, state identification, and passport before starting the interview. The interview consists of the following parts. First, there's a civics and history test. There's a reading English portion, writing English portion, and the review of the N400 form. Remember that your ability to understand English will be tested throughout the entire interview. You will need to study the 100 civics and history questions provided on the USCIS website. You are not required to attend the civics courses, but you may find them helpful. You can always refer to the USCIS website for study materials if you choose to study on your own. The officer will read aloud to you 10 of these questions at random, and you must answer verbally to at least 6 of them correctly. If you're not able to pass this portion, the officer may end the interview there. If at any time you did not hear or understand a question, you can always ask the officer to repeat it. And another part of the test will be reading and writing in English. For this part of the test, the officer will have you read a sentence that appears on a tablet in front of you and then write a sentence that he or she reads out loud on that same tablet. You will be given up to 3 sentences to attempt to read and write. If you're not able to pass this portion, the officer may end the interview there. The review of the N400 form is not only to confirm that the information is still accurate, but also to test your understanding of English. Make sure to go over your N400 so you know how you answered all the questions on the form. If you can't remember exact dates, you can always provide an estimate or ask the officer if you can refer to your form. If the officer feels you're not understanding them, they may ask you to define certain words. Some examples of these words are voting, communist, military, weapons, arrested, crime, jail, misrepresentation, and deportation. Sometimes the officer might ask you some questions that are not explicitly in the N400, but relate to the questions listed on there. Usually these questions follow certain ones that do appear on the N400. For example, an officer might ask you to confirm your address and then follow that question with another question asking, who do you live with? Don't let that surprise you. These are questions that officers usually ask to make sure you understand them. And remember, they may ask anything related to your naturalization application or how you received your green card. Keep in mind that although this is the most common order for the interview, officers are not required to go in this order, but they are required to cover all these sections. If there is any information that has changed on your N400, you can make those updates at the time of the interview. Any address changes can be made at the interview, but should be done as soon as possible on the USCIS website or by calling the customer service hotline. Once the interview is done, there are 4 possible outcomes. 1, you could be recommended for approval by the officer. 2, the officer could ask you to return for a second interview or to reapply if that was your second interview. 3, they can tell you that they cannot make a decision at this time and you will receive a decision in the mail. And 4, they can ask for you to provide additional documents. This is known as a request for evidence or a notice of continuation. And you must respond with the information that is requested before the due date. If you need help with this, please contact our office. If your application is approved, you will receive an oath ceremony notice by mail. Remember, you are not a citizen until you attend your oath ceremony and take the oath of allegiance. We hope this information was helpful to you. If you have any further questions, please contact our office, and we wish you the best of luck.